My name is Brittany Haeg. Chair Mueller, members of the committee, Representatives Tepke and Greenman, thank you for having us here today. August 27th will forever mark a before and after in my family's life. I've spoken about that day before. Today, I want to focus on what life looks like 6 months after my 6-year-old son became the youngest injured survivor of a school shooting in United States history. And that story starts with who David is. David is joy. He was laughing before he was 2 months old. I have the video to prove it. Ask anyone who knows him, and hilarious will be the first word they will use. No first grader has any right to be as good at impressions as David is. He loves riding his bike. He builds fairy houses by the lake. He loves school. Those are hard things to say in the present tense because they're still there, but they are buried. Because David was shot twice in the head, leaving shrapnel embedded in his skull. He was shot in the abdomen, leaving fragments embedded in his spleen. Bullets fired from an AR-15 ricocheted off church pews and tore into both of his calves, his abdomen, his chest, his left shoulder, his arm, and his back, scattering fragments throughout his body. There's an understanding broadly that emotionally and psychologically our family has not recovered, but at 6 months, people look for a recovery story. They look for resiliency. We are often prompted to reassure them he's still scared, but physically he's doing well. The truth is, he isn't. Recovery from these weapons is not quick. It is not linear. It is not one surgery and a scar. It is ongoing, invasive, and uncertain. We are navigating a path with no clear end point. Since January 1st alone, my first grader has had 18 therapy sessions, 2 sleep therapy sessions, 1 appointment with his sleep pediatrician, 2 medication management visits, 5 occupational therapy sessions, 2 neurology appointments, 2 physical therapy appointments, 1 lab appointment, 1 visit to plan for future CT scans, 1 visit to manage feeding, 1 for sleep, 1 for anxiety, and 1 for his elevated lead levels. Hours in waiting rooms, hours in therapy, hours spent talking about nightmares and panic and lead mitigation instead of spelling words and riding bikes. Because he was shot with a high-velocity weapon, firing ammunition containing lead, we are now monitoring the rising levels in his blood. We are facing the possibility of additional surgeries, not to repair what was done that day, but to prevent further damage from fragments that are poisoning his body as we speak. This is what 6 months look like. It is not a clean recovery. It is not closure. It is a child who still carries pieces of a weapon inside of him. Pieces of ammunition our state has recognized as harmful to wildlife because lead contamination is bad for the environment. And yet those fragments remain in my son. When you discuss policy when you discuss policy about our children, I am asking you to move beyond your rehearsed positions. I am asking you to step away from talking points and remember the children for whom this policy is not abstract. The families who live this reality every day and deserve genuine consideration and discussion for the cost you are asking us to bear. The cost in time, in childhood, in our family's sense of safety. These decisions are complex. I recognize that. I respect that. But complexity should not prevent honest examination. My 6-year-old is living the outcome of each of your decisions. If his body is going to have a conversation, or if this body is going to have a conversation about violence in our society, let it be grounded in reality, not abstraction. Let it be brave enough to be honest and human, because the impact of these weapons does not end when the ambulance leaves. It does not end with a hospital discharge. It does not end when the stitches dissolve. It does not end at 6 months. It will not end at a year. This is our life. It is forever. For some families, it never ends. Please do not forget us. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, and just thank you to all the Annunciation families who have shared a horrible day, but also what the aftermath looks like for all of you. With our committee, both with your testimony today, verbally and in writing. We've received many of your letters and emails, and we appreciate that you spent the time sharing that with us.